Hello, my name is Reese Boxer, and this is my podcast about Foley sound. Hope you enjoy. So who created Foley sound? Jack Donovan Foley, who was born in Yorkville, New York, April 12th, 1891, was the developer of many sound effects used in filmmaking. He is credited with inventing the process of adding sound effects, such as footsteps and environmental sounds to films. Foleying is an excellent means of supplying us the subtle sounds that production mics often miss. The rustling of clothing and a squeak of a saddle when a rider mounts his horse give a scene a touch of realism that is difficult to provide using other effects methods. Foley artist at work. Foley is the reproduction of everyday sound effects that are added to film, video, and other media in post-production to enhance audio quality. These reproduced sounds can be anything from the swishing of clothing, footsteps, and squeaky doors. Now, Jack Donovan. He started working with Universal Studios in 1914 during the silent movie era, when Warner Studios released its first film to include sound, The Jazz Singer. Universal knew it needed to get on the bandwagon and called for any employees who had radio experience to come forward. Foley became part of the sound crew that turned Universal's then upcoming silent movie or musical, The Showboat, because as microphones at the time could not pick up more than dialogue, other sounds had to be added in after the film was shot. Foley and his small crew projected the film on a screen while recording a single track of audio that captured their live sound movements. Their timing had to be perfect so that footsteps and closing doors synchronized with the actors' motions in the film. Jack Foley created sounds for films until his death in 1967. His basic methods are still used today. Now, what was actually going on when it started? Right. World War I began on July 28, 1914, and lasted until November 11, 1918. Differences in foreign policies were to blame, although the immediate cause was the assassination of Austria's Archduke Ferdinand. The two main sides were the Allies, which included France, Great Britain and Russia, and Germany and Austria-Hungary. In total, 30 countries were involved in the conflict. More than 65 million men from 30 countries fought in World War I. Nearly 10 million died. The Allies, the internment powers, lost about 6 million, and the Central Powers lost about 4 million. But what does this have to do with Foley? Well, during the First World War, many British and American and even German radio broadcasts used the technique of using objects to project the noise of soldiers marching and guns firing to emphasize the war to the listeners at home. Now, this is my conclusion. My opinions about Foley. I think Foley sound is important to films as it adds a sense of realism to a movie and it makes it sound better and clearer. Plus, it's an easy and cheap process which makes it better for producers. So, all in all, it is a good process and should be used more. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.